At the age of 8, my dad gave me a Bible, and I read that Bible seriously, and somehow I just knew at the age of 8 that I was a sinner and I needed forgiveness. I don't know what I did at the age of 8 that I realized I needed God's mercy, and I cried out to God, and I felt the purity of God at a young age. But as I went to school, I just slowly got pulled away, and I found other things that were more exciting than God. For many years, I walked in darkness, and I thought God was done with me, and it was actually spiritually almost like a torment. Yeah. At the age of 20, I found out my kidneys were 50% function, and I'd never even drunk any alcohol or done anything like that. It was just they don't know why my kidneys were failing. Finally, the doctor said, you got to ask your family about getting a kidney transplant. So I received a kidney transplant in 2011 from my brother, and I have been healthy ever since. To my amazement, after I got my kidney transplant, because my dysfunction was so high, to my amazement, I became healthy much faster than the doctors expected. I was back at work in 6 weeks, and life was grand. And so now I had my health back, and I had an amazing job as a software developer, senior software developer, and I had a wonderful family. I had a really good relationship with a girl at the time, and I started to, just because everything was going so well, I started to think about my youth, and my conscience was starting to bother me, because at first I thought things were going so well because I was clever, and then I thought I was lucky, and then I just realized God is blessing me, and I don't even deserve it. I said, I know I'm going to stand before God one day. He's going to ask what I've done with my life. It was in the night of July 31st, 2012. I can only explain how it went, but on the left side of my bed, Jesus was standing there, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was standing beside my bed. And he just said 2 words to me. He said, follow me. Just those 2 words. And I fell on my face in this dream, and I started weeping, and I said, what does it mean to follow you? I had gone to church for 30 years, but I realized in a split second, I didn't even know who Jesus really was. I knew all of what Jesus had done on earth, all his miracles, and how he died. But I didn't have it in my heart that he's alive, that he's alive, he's the King of Kings. And this was it just blew my mind. It just turned my whole world upside down. And then I said, I have to read the Bible all over again. I got to read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I'm going to read those, and some of them have the words of Jesus in red. And I said, I'm going to focus on those words, because now I know the one who's speaking those words, he's alive. And if he's alive, those words are alive. So the other thing, I was baptized as a baby, and I saw in the scriptures, this is what really opened my eyes to baptism. Jesus himself, he came to John the Baptist. He said, I need to be baptized. And John the Baptist said, you need to baptize me. But Jesus said, I need to be baptized to fulfill all righteousness. I thought, that settles the deal for me. So the same guy who I just got to meet through email, next town over, I said, I want to be baptized. And him and his friend, he was a pastor, and God is using him in other countries now in a different way. And he and his friend baptized me in their hot tub behind their house. Now there's a group of us, and God is growing this big group of people. I'm going out on the streets every week, and I've seen legitimate miracles by people who've never prayed for any sick person before, because I saw it was true, and other people are catching on.